Mario Kart 8. We're finally here, finally at the end. I know the booster course pass ended a while ago. I just hadn't had the time to do this one. But we're finally here, and for clarity's sake, right now we're going to say this. I will be talking about both Mario Kart 8s, because there's technically two of them. You have Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, released in 2014, and then the port, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, released in 2017. So yeah, we'll be talking about the 10-year history of Mario Kart 8. And it all started in a little, very small, very failure-y console, the lovely Wii U. The Wii U did not sell well. You probably know this story by now. 2014, fun fact, it was actually probably its best year. You know, you got Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. I don't think you can do better than that to convince people to get your console. But yeah, the Wii U, as you may know, it did not sell well. I'm not the first one to say it, I will not be the last one to say it. So Mario Kart 8 was actually the hit game in that console. It sold relatively well compared to the player base, the install base the Wii U had. So good on Mario Kart 8. Now, outside of the sheer fact that it is Mario Kart, why? Like, why was Mario Kart 8 the game for the Wii U, right? So let's talk about Mario Kart 8 itself. What's new about Mario Kart? What does it bring? So the first thing you'll notice in Mario Kart 8 is the anti-gravity mechanic. So this basically means the track will not be a singular line or hills or laps or whatever. The track can suddenly shift. You can be driving on the ground and suddenly you're driving on a wall, on the roof, you're flying around, whatever. Visually it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You see when the car transforms, it gets like into this hover wheel mode. It is pretty sick to look at. Design-wise, though, it doesn't change much. It's not like you have your camera backwards or your controls are different or anything like that. Thankfully, like, honestly, I would not like for my controls to be different depending on if I'm on a wall, on the roof, or whatever. So good idea, but I will admit that mechanically, there's nothing new. Well, outside of the fact that if you bump into another player or these little bumps here, you do get a boost. You can bump into each other and get boost, both of you, and you start spinning and you get a boost. That's cool, but overall it's not very different. Visually it is very different, and creatively as well, because it does bring a lot of whole new ideas to these tracks, which we will get into later. You know, it's no longer, oh, we have a singular grid. No, now with anti-gravity you can do a lot of shit. It's honestly very interesting from a design point, from like a creativity point. But gameplay-wise, like practically, like the practical design of it's not that wild. It's basically the same thing. Just you are a little bit lighter and you get a boost when you bump into each other. That's pretty much it. The roster of Mario Kart 8 is definitely not the selling point, at least the base roster. We can talk about DLCs later on. But the base roster of Mario Kart 8 is not good. I don't know if it's a step up from 7. Like, if you remember 7, yeah, Waluigi wasn't there, but I don't think the Koopalings are a good replacement to some of the roster we had in 7. If I had to be honest, like, yeah, Honeyqueen's weird, but it's a funny weird. The Koopalings are like skins. They're always... This happens every time with the Koopalings. It's like, ah, shit, we need to fill a space. Okay, get the Koopalings, fuck it. I don't like that. I hate that. I don't like that at all, but yeah, here we are. We got the Koopalings filling like 8 or 9 slots, and 8, and it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Other than that, it's like Metal Mario again, okay. And this one's even worse. This one's even worser. Baby Rosalina, because Rosalina can't be a baby because, you know, Mario Galaxy lore and all that. So that's a bit stupid, and it was made for this game. And then even stupider is Pink Gold Peach. Again, not saying anything original here. Many have said it before, many will say it again. This is probably the stupidest character in a Mario game ever created. Well, they took Metal Mario and they were like, oh, we need to make a Peach clone. Metal Mario at least has like an origin of Mario 64. I don't know why it stuck to so many people. I think it was through Smash 64. He was like a boss fight, so many people do remember that. Myself included, obviously. But like, Pink Gold Peach is like an original creation for 8. It's like, oh, this one definitely feels like we need to cover another slot and we can't make a new character. This one definitely feels that way, and it's kind of stupid. You know, the Mario franchise. Look at the previous Mario Karts, like, just draw from those. Get the model, make it prettier, and that's it, or something. You have 7 prior games of character work. You can do something about it, right? You can do that. Thankfully, Deluxe and the Booster Course Pass and the DLC in Mario Kart 8 Wii U itself do fix the roster, but we'll talk about DLC in a bit. I didn't make it much of a point in the previous videos because honestly, the marketing for the other Mario Karts is like whatever. You have your typical ads, but this time, with the rise of YouTube, right? Obviously, Nintendo was playing more videos on YouTube. They were like, oh, here's a trailer for Mario Kart 8. We reveal the roster, we reveal a track, we reveal whatever. And compared to, like, during this era, Nintendo's trailers were kind of shit. They were not very well edited, and from a business standpoint, like, I know I'm not a masterful editor or anything, but, like, I'm not Nintendo. I don't have the budget of Nintendo, the staff of Nintendo, the experience with Nintendo or something, so yeah, you expect more from them. Especially when you saw the trailers from like Sony or Microsoft, and their trailers were better edited, better cut, better recorded and all that. With Mario Kart 8, there was that shift of, oh hey, those videos actually look pretty good. They're very professional, I like those videos. Obviously the highlight personally is the reveal of N64 Rainbow Road. That's a fantastic reveal and a fantastic track to remake. We will talk about the track a little bit more when I get to the track section of the video, but I wanted to highlight the campaign, the marketing campaign. It was very good. So I highlighted it specifically because, again, the Wii U context is not very good, and then Mario Kart 8 being like this, the big game for the Wii U, so it obviously had a better marketing campaign. I just wanted to highlight that for a second. Okay, so before I get into the track itself, I would like to talk about items, like before we get into the actual tracks. The item pool as well, so I know it sounds like I just keep throwing shit at Mario Kart 8, don't trust me, I love the game and the game is very good. I just wanted to get the negatives out of the way first, because the item pool itself is very lame. It's very balanced compared to other Mario Karts. Specifically, if you play in single player, you'll notice there's not a lot of chaos like there was, for example, in Mario Kart Wii or Double Dash. Online, yeah, there's more chaos because those are actual players getting item boxes, and it's like that's the mess and whatever. That's great. We'll talk about online as well in a bit. But like, playing single player, the item pool feels very balanced, very vanilla. And the items themselves, you got green shell with the 3 variant, the red shell with the 3 variant, the banana with the 3 variant. You got the boomerang again, the mushroom, the 3 variant, golden. Coins are back, so you also got them coins in the item boxes, and that kind of sucks because it feels like you're wasting a slot. But on its own, like, weird way, it also feels like it's trying to balance the idea of, oh, someone's in first, you give them a coin, they won't have a defense, right? They don't have a defensive item for them to fight back. On the one hand, I like it because it means people can catch up, but on the other hand, it's like, oh, you're in first, get rewarded with nothing, like, keep fighting, basically. It's kind of a mixed bag. The Fire Flowers here, which works basically like the Fire Flower Mario has in Double Dash. If you pick him, he has his special item. It's just that instead of the 3 balls Mario shot, this basically works in like a timer. The more little fireballs you shoot, the less the circle drain. The circle will be draining until you run out. You can shoot many fireballs, admittedly, but they're hit stun, I suppose. The recovery the other character has is far more than a shell. Like they get shot at and in like a second they're back. The shell is like a more impactful item, but this one's like quicker pace, so it can help you out. You can hit many people at once. They bounce around. So honestly, pretty good. I would say like a pretty good mid item, like 4th, 5th, 6th. Around that position, if everyone's close by, you can do some good damage. The Bob-omb's back, as per usual. The Star's back, the Lightning's back, Blooper, a Blue Shell, and the Bullet Bill. For the other new additions, you have the Crazy 8, which I guess technically is not a new addition. It's the same as the Lucky 7 from Mario Kart 7, but now you have 8 items. That's very much, the strategy is the same. Just you press L one more time. It's whatever. It's very rare, surprisingly. Then you have the Piranha Plant, which basically works as a little boost anytime you chomp. You press L and it chomps and it has a boost, but it also chomps the players nearby or coins or whatever. It's okay. Now you need to be close by for them to get chomped, and other than that, the boost is kind of good, but it's not. It's like a drift boost. It's not like a mushroom boost. You can do something with this, but it's not that crazy. So the big one, right? The big new revolutionary item for Mario Kart 8, and for Mario Kart as a whole, actually, is this little, I don't remember the name, fuck. The horn, the first place horn, let's call it. The blue shell destroyer, let's call it. Obviously, it doesn't just work with the blue shell. You can destroy like shells, bananas, anything around you. You can hit people around you, but the big gimmick here is you're getting shot at with a blue shell, then you fire this, and the blue shell gets legitimately destroyed. So this is the first time there has been any item or intentional mechanic that allows you to fight the blue shell. Previous games had something like, oh, if you have a mushroom, you can time it right and escape the explosion. But that never felt intentional, and I honestly, it doesn't even look intentional. In Mario Kart Wii, when you can do that, it's like, it doesn't look intentional at all. It looks like a glitch, like, oh, you're messing around with the hitboxes, so you dodge it and you run away. It doesn't feel intentional at all. I don't know if it is. I don't think Nintendo came out and said if it was or not, but this is definitely a more clear cut. Yeah, this is your way. This is going to be the best defensive item you can get. This is your way of fighting the seeking first place missile. So, yeah. I love this item, actually. It's not as common as you think, and it's not exclusive to first place. But I like it. I like having a way to defend myself from the blue shell, but I like that it's also rare. So it's not like, oh, every time I fight a blue shell, but I can't do shit. Online's kind of trickier, because online, having so many items, so many people firing items, it can get hectic. So maybe it doesn't save you that much over there, but it can still help you out a lot. I think this is probably the best addition in any Mario Kart. Definitely in this game. Like, the new items in this game are kind of mid, but this one clears. This one's pretty good. Now, before we end with the items, there is a little thing. So, before, in all the other Mario Karts, maybe not Double Dash, but all the other Mario Karts, whenever you got an item like a banana, for example, you could hold it on your back as a shield, right? And, you know, someone fires a red shell at you, the banana tanks it, and that's good. While you're holding that banana, or that shell, or whatever, basically, you were using your item. So, your item slot was free for you to pick another item. Let's say you hold a banana so long that you get to a new item box, you technically will have two items. You have your banana that you're holding L to protect you, and whatever new item you got in your item box. That's how Mario Kart used to work. Again, maybe not Double Dash, because that one's kind of funky, because you're going to hold things on your back, but typically that's how it worked. Mario Kart 8 does away with this extra slot, let's say. So if you're holding a banana, instead of your slot being cleared, in Mario Kart 8 Wii U, you still have that. So like the game still considers that you are holding the banana, that you still are using the banana. Therefore, you cannot get a new item. I sort of understand why they do that, because the previous method, honestly, that also didn't feel very intentional. Kind of felt like a glitch. Like, oh, I'm cheating. I have two items actually. But they kept it for so many games that it clearly was intentional, right? Like, it's not like, oh, we can't figure this out. Why would they change it for 8? I guess to punish first, second, and third. Like, oh, they're trying to defend themselves. We cannot let them have two items. Maybe. I don't like the change where I guess I can see it, but I don't like it. I don't like how this works. Thankfully in Deluxe, this does change. Their method of changing it is kind of like reverting back, but they give you the two slots like in Double Dash. But technically you only have your two items back, because this thing doesn't live in Deluxe, they just add another slot. So they kind of bring it back to the old ways, and they add Double Dash, so they kind of have all worlds mixed. And in Deluxe it's fun. Here it's like, I don't like that you did this, but okay, you're being kind of weird again. You remove cool shit from your games as per usual. Okay, so now we can actually talk about the best part of Mario Kart 8, the tracks. All the tracks, and I do mean every single one, okay? Every single one. I love all of them. Now, there are some that I love more than others. There are some that I'm like, whatever. But base Mario Kart 8 has the best track design and the best track courses, the best picks in any Mario Kart. Like, I love some tracks from the older games more than these ones. And admittedly, I do remember the tracks from the older games more than these ones as well. But that's because I've been playing the older games for longer. I haven't played Mario Kart 8. I haven't been playing Mario Kart 8 for long, honestly. So I don't remember the names very well, but I can tell that their design is absolutely fantastic. I love all the tracks. There are some that are like less interesting than others in terms of like visuals or design or gimmicks, but all of them at least are very good. They're all also very beautiful. Like, this game itself is absolutely beautiful, and may I remind you, this is 2014. This game is absolutely beautiful. It takes like the Wii U, I don't know if to its limits, because it does load very fast, it runs very well, and all that. I don't know if it's to its limits, but this definitely proves the power difference between the Wii U and the Wii. Because that's something that Wii U also suffered. Like, in the early stages of the Wii U, the games that they released, they were like New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U, and it's like, these look the same. it didn't show the HD of Nintendo, right? But Mario Kart 8 definitely takes advantage of that. It's a very beautiful game. Sound design as well, absolutely fantastic. Music, perfect. Like, I'll take this opportunity to talk about that. But yeah, so all the tracks, they benefit a lot from anti-gravity. I know I said it's not that big of a deal, and it isn't. But it does give them a lot of freedom to split the track into different sections, into different parts. You have like at least 3 ways of doing this. You can either keep driving on the ground, go underwater because that came back from 7, you can glide, that which also came back from 7, or you can go on that wall, you can go on that rooftop, you can take the upper path. Oh, if you trick jumped appropriately and you take advantage of anti-gravity, you can get on this top path. And this was technically a shortcut. Yeah, so the track design is huge. You have a lot of options now, and it's honestly pretty cool. As long as you know what you're doing, you'll have a lot of options and different ways of racing in all these tracks. That's honestly fantastic. Like, it feels very open, very, very, very good. What also comes back from 7 is this idea of having a big track that is not technically like a lap-based course. So, you know, your typical tracks are like a circle, and you run back and around, and well, this one in 7, they something like Macau, I remember, is like a big line, and 8 does that as well. There are some tracks here that are basically become one line. Sadly, that also means my favorite track in the game, N64 Rainbow Road, definitely nostalgic, and my bias is showing. It's my favorite track, but one thing I don't like is that it's not this big ass humongous track anymore like it was in the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it flows better. It's an objective improvement. But I don't like it. I want my big ass stupid track that takes like 7 minutes to finish. But yeah, they brought that back from 7 as well, which is honestly pretty creative. Like, yeah, it's not like your typical track, but it lets you have a lot of new gimmicks, depending on the lap. You can change your visual design, you can change the track design itself, the gimmick. Each lap can have a different gimmick, visit a different part of the world. It's a good idea. I wouldn't like all the tracks to be like this, of course not. I think limiting to like 4, maybe like one per original cup or something, maybe that would be a good idea. But yeah, I think they took what Mario Kart 7 did and improved it, and then some. I think this is like peak Mario Kart track design. Some of them are not that interesting. Again, I feel like Coconut Mall maybe trumps some of these, but like I think that it feels like a very good progression. Like we're starting Super Mario Kart, we end here, and it's like, yeah, you can see that they took all those years of Mario Kart, they learned, and they were like, okay, how can we do the craziest Mario Kart we've ever seen? Sadly, items don't complement that, but the track design itself absolutely shows the creativity, the learning experience, and everything that Nintendo wanted to make with Mario Kart. It shows it very well. And it's not only on the original tracks. Obviously, now Mario Kart since DS, well, technically since Game Boy Advance, but DS did remake some tracks. But we have our track remix here as well, which they implement them new mechanics. So let's say you have something like Super Mario Kart's Mario Circuit or whatever. It's not your boring ass grid that you had in like the Mario Kart Wii remake. Now there's water you can go through, there are gliding sections, there are anti-gravity sections, so the tracks... This is the most remade tracks we've seen in Mario Kart yet. The other ones feel like, oh, it's a new graphical upgrade, oh, it has a little ramp here that you can boost off of. Cool. It's almost the same thing. Here though, they actually take all the Mario Kart 8 mechanics, the engine, the everything, and they generally don't feel like remakes. But you can see the spirit of the original track. So I think it blends both of those perfectly. It feels like a completely new track, taking advantage of the new Mario Kart 8. And then it carries the spirit of the original track. Something for Sherbetland, for example. You can drive through the pond where the Freezies and the Shy Guys are dancing. And through that, you can get to a top path which leads into the cave. It's a small thing, I know, but like... That wasn't there in the original. And we're still playing Sherbetland, but we have a new pathway. We have a completely new pathway. It also looks beautiful, and the remake music of Sherbetland is absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. But that's the thing. Mario Kart does this, it takes advantage of all of what it's doing, and it goes ham with it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's probably the best Mario Kart, the Mario Kart track design we've ever had. The implementation of the mechanics are fantastic. This is peak Mario Kart, if I can summarize it in a few words. So, if you remember in 7, I did point out how, as these videos go on, eventually the controls section will be shorter. Because at one point the controls are like rather similar. Like outside of being able to glide or drive underwater, how the game feels to control and to play, that I feel like they got around that very well relatively early on, like Double Dash. So it's like, I'll mention it because I've been mentioning it in all these videos, but yeah, the game is absolutely smooth butter to control. It feels fantastic, it's really, really good. The one difference though is depends again, the car customization comes back from 7. Again, I'm not a big fan of this feature. I feel like just give me a car or a selection of cars like in Wii and let me go ham. Depending on the car you build, you do like... You will feel the game is different. Like, it'll be easier for you to turn, to drift. Maybe you're faster on a straight line, but your drifting sucks. Like your typical stuff that I've already mentioned between Wii and 7. That can affect how your game controls, and some of them do feel really shitty. Some combinations do feel kinda ass. But overall, like overall the game controls fantastically. But like, it feels kind of vanilla. Like I was talking about earlier with the items. Like, yeah, the game controls fantastic, the track design is fantastic, but in single player anyway, you lack this chaos, you know? You lack this energy of, oh, I'm playing Mario Kart. Like, most of the time I was running through arcade mode, I was like, yeah, I'm having fun, obviously, because what I'm playing is really fun. But I felt like I was just driving through, and I was just having a chill time. I didn't have to be worried about, like, blue shells or red shells or the computers or whatever. Maybe that's the AI rather than the game itself. But, I don't know. It felt very vanilla at points, because it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying myself, but where's the chaos? Where am I? I'm not getting fast-fucked by 7 red shells. Maybe it's my Wii bias. Thankfully, though, online does rectify that. Like, if you're playing online and you have 12 players, you're obviously running to more people, getting more items, getting more coins, being more chaotic, playing like humans. So that's where the chaos will be. I definitely do recommend online. Obviously, that's more on the Deluxe section rather than the Wii U portion. As far as I know, Wii U Online is also dead. So yeah, no more Wii U. But you can still play Deluxe, and in Deluxe it's even more chaotic because of the item thing I talked about. You have 2 items rather than the single one. So yeah, if you get bored of like single player mode, go play online. And trust me, you will be playing online because other than that, there's fuck all to do. As these videos have gone on, I have noticed that Mario Kart doesn't usually have a lot of content outside of the tracks. DS definitely tried with their mission campaign mode. And it was a good attempt that I'm shocked that has never been done again. But I'm not even talking about like, oh, there's nothing to do here like in all Mario Karts. Because the other Mario Karts had like time trials and battle mode. While this Mario Kart does have those, you have no reason to go to time trials because you don't unlock anything there. And then battle mode, it's not good. And it's really not good. Like, absolutely not good. Leave Mario Kart 8 Vanilla. We'll talk about the Deluxe in a bit. No. Like, generally, no. So the battle modes are actually not the problem. Like, on that end, it's actually very good. You have your typical battle mode with the balloons, you know, hit each other, your balloon disappears and you're gone. You then have Shine Hunters coming back, which, again, someone finds the shine, they have them, hit them, take it away from them. Then you have the coin counter mode, which again, gather coins, if you hit them you drop them and everyone else collects them. Then you have 2 modes. You have basically, this is on Deluxe, but I guess I'll call it Cops and Robbers. Some of the team is cops, they have a piranha plant and they're trying to chump the criminals. If they chump the criminals, they get locked in a cage and the other criminals have to free them and all that. It is actually very fun, it's a very good spin on battle mode, I do like that a lot. Then you have the bomb away mode, as I call it, because it's basically you just fire bombs at each other, like that's literally it. And it is fun for a little bit. You know, it's a chaotic experience that I'm surprised the Switch doesn't blow up in half by playing it. I kid, the Switch can handle some stuff, guys, come on. The problem with battle mode, on Wii U anyway, it's not battle mode tracks. So every single other Mario Kart that had battle mode, and I do mean every single one, Super Mario Kart had this. Sure, it looks aesthetically looked the same as the other tracks, but design-wise it was an arena. Mario Kart 8 Wii U has you battle mode in the base track. So something like Sherbetland, for example. It's not a ring in Sherbetland, it's Sherbetland. You can go through the entire track. How are you supposed to hit each other with this? How are you supposed to fight in this? You can just run away. It's so big for a battle mode track. This sucks. This is the worst battle mode in any game. That sucked. But our story with Mario Kart 8 Wii U is not over. Do not hide your Wii U gamepads yet. We have DLC. Well, not the first Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart 7 also had DLC. But Mario Kart 8, the DLC is actually very good. So we have new tracks, both remake of older tracks, something like Neo Bowser City from 3DS, as well as entirely new tracks, both in like the Mario Kart world, I guess, like Dragon Driftway, but also based around Nintendo IPs. No Mario Kart track was ever based around a Nintendo IP, outside of Mario, obviously. We had characters from other IPs, you know, Robin, Mario Kart DS, but tracks for the other IPs. You have F-Zero tracks, you have Zelda tracks, you have Animal Crossing. And all these tracks, again, they take advantage of the Mario Kart 8 mechanics and they're spectacular. They're such a treat to race in. Big Blue is so fast, like it actually feels like you're playing like an easier F-Zero. Mario Kart's not a replacement for F-Zero, by the way, but it feels faster, especially if you're playing 200cc, which came on a free update. 200cc is stupid fun, but it's borderline impossible to control. Like, if you're used to like 150 and 100, you're fucked. But it is really fun. It is quite the treat, quite fun. But we don't only get tracks, we actually get characters to fix this stupid fucking roster that we got at base launch. We got Link. We got actual Link in Mario Kart. We got the Ink Links in Mario Kart Deluxe. And then we got Animal Crossing. So we got the Villager 1 and Villager 2, I suppose you can call them. I like this. I'm not like a big, oh, let's make Smash Bros. Mario Kart or anything. But I like having little guests, you know, a small quantity of guests. I don't want Super Smash Bros. Mario Kart with Sephiroth driving, fighting Captain Falcon. No. I like Mario Kart. I want Mario Kart to be Mario Kart. But you can also do Mario Kart feat Kirby, you know, like Kirby shows up and he's a guest character, I suppose. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. It opens up a lot of opportunities for Mario Kart 8 to do something of its own. I just don't want it to turn into this huge, massive crossover. But what they did here in Mario Kart 8, it was very good. Both the base game and the DLC. I do have my gripe with the item balancing, I do have my gripe with battle mode, specifically battle mode. Battle mode is definitely the worst part of this game. But again, the game's really fun, the game is really good. Track design is fantastic in every single track, DLC or base game. The roster, while underwhelming at first, it turned into quite a more interesting idea. You know, having Zelda, having Animal Crossing. It turned into quite a fun time. You obviously have your Mii as well, if you want to even customize you even further. Customizations there. Oh, wait. Right, the DLC also had another free update. They have Mercedes-Benz cars. Yeah, it'd actually be Mario playing a Mercedes car with Mercedes wheels. Why did they do this? I don't know. I assume Mercedes thought Mario Kart players would go buy a Mercedes, and Nintendo thought they could use Mercedes money because they were struggling, because they were on the Wii U. I guess. I don't know, but it's kind of funny. It's like a weird official shitpost. But those cars are fine, whatever. But yeah, overall, Mario Kart 8 Wii U, it's really fun, and I do think it still has some worth playing. Solely because of the tiny different mechanics that are not in Deluxe. Deluxe is more, which we'll talk about now, but it does, I think it has some value yet. I don't know. I feel like you can boot up Mario Kart 8 Wii U still. It always gets replaced by Deluxe, but I don't know. I think it should be forgotten. But now we get into the modern Mario Kart 8. We got into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, the latest Mario Kart. Removing Mario Kart Tour because that one, I don't care. Maybe some other time. Maybe I can do like a regular gameplay video about it, but no, not now. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, announced technically in 2016. When the Switch was revealed, there was footage of Mario Kart 8 playing on a Switch. Obviously, not many people cared about that much because, you know, you're focusing on the Switch, you know, they take it out of the dock, playing Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, and all that. But some keen-eyed people noticed in the trailer that King Boo was being playable. There were 2 item slots for the items in the item slots, and they were playing Mario Kart 8. It was Mario Kart 8's UI, Mario Kart 8 tracks. So, is this the first Mario Kart re-release outside of the Virtual Console, obviously? But this is the first Mario Kart to be in 2 consoles. Turns out it was. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out early on in the Switch's life, like 2017. And honestly, that helps a lot. Having Mario Kart really early on your console is definitely a smart move. It's like, oh shit, there isn't much competition. Just put on Mario Kart. And Mario Kart obviously appeals to everyone buys it, it's a really fun time. And this is the best Nintendo Switch sold game. Like, Mario Kart 8 keeps selling. It came out in 2017, which technically came out in 2014 for a dead console. This game sold like fucking insanity. It's absurd. I didn't even know there was a number this big. But yeah, this game did very well. Definitely releasing it on a more successful console helped out a lot. And it's not just a port. I mean, it is, but it has new content too. So, what did they do? It's basically Mario Kart 8 with all the DLC included, so that's pretty good. It's just 60 bucks compared to Wii U's 60 bucks base game, so now 60 bucks the whole game. You can play it portably, which honestly is fantastic. Being able to either play Mario Kart console or Mario Kart portable, kind of like taking you back to those DS/Wii era of, oh, I want to play Mario Kart DS on a trip. Oh, I got home, let's play Mario Kart Wii. That's something what I did. So it's nice having that. Yeah, it's the same game, but you can play it wherever you want. It's kind of cool. That does help a lot. That's more the Switch's merit than Mario Kart, but it's cool to have that. They have new characters. They have King Boo and Dry Bowser from Mario Kart Wii, so I love having Mario Kart Wii representation. I will get into Mario Kart Wii representation later on. Trust me, trust me. And now again, the 2 item slot change. Basically, this brought us back to the previous era of Mario Kart. I feel like they noticed people didn't like the Mario Kart 8 vanilla method. So they were like, yeah, let's do this. But not only that, you can actually pick 2 items at once. They brought the Double Dash dual block back, that they're in a more awkward position for you to get, but it's more rewarding because you get the 2 items. So yeah, they brought Double Dash things and older Mario Kart things, making this interesting mix. It does cause a little more chaos, which I was begging for just now, like half an hour ago. On that end, thank you, but admittedly some tracks are not designed for the chaos this can cause. So sometimes you feel very, I could get absolutely blasted. Something like Baby Park, which ironically I know Baby Park is from Double Dash. This Baby Park was not made for the single item meta. Sorry, this Baby Park was made for the single item meta, so when you add another item, maybe it breaks a little bit, but it's still quite fun. I love the chaos both in Baby Park and the new items. So good changes, honestly. Supposedly the online is worse on Switch. I didn't get to play Mario Kart 8 online on the Wii U, but apparently people were happy about it. Like they thought it was a good online, and it was free. So the Switch's online being basically the same for Mario Kart, and now they charge you. Yeah, that stinks. I don't like being charged for online on consoles, but what are you gonna do? Supposedly the Wii U worked better, but I can't tell. I haven't had any bad online matches in Mario Kart 8, so I can't complain. It's definitely no Smash Ultimate Online. This is far better. The most important thing for some people, and I'm not talking about the booster course, I'll get to the booster course. There's an actual battle mode. Like, there are actual battle mode tracks. And there are fantastic battle mode tracks. They're not too big, they're not too small. You have room to run around and get items, and you have a special place to get your ass kicked. Thank you. Why this wasn't in vanilla Mario Kart 8, I am not sure. I assume Mario Kart 8 ran out of time, and they were like, ah shit, we need to do something about this. I do not know what happened here. I am very confused. There's a little one thing that they changed in all of Mario Kart 8. So, you know how you drift? You can get the blue drift, which is a silly small turbo, the orange drift, which is a bigger, but not as big as a mushroom turbo. Now you have the purple drift. This one's harder to get. Like, this one you have to be drifting for a while to get. You'll rarely see it. I honestly forgot this was a thing in Deluxe, exclusively to Deluxe, but yeah. They give you the purple drift, which is basically a mushroom. Like, if you manage to drift for that long, you basically get a mushroom turbo boost. Be absurdly careful if you're doing this in 200cc. You will die. But yeah, I appreciate the extra rewards for the drift. It's not that big of a deal, but I appreciate it being there. Thank you. So this is probably the part that everyone wanted to see more than anything. Like, we have Mario Kart 8 for 10 years. But the DLC for the complete version of Mario Kart 8 we only had for 2. The Booster Course Pass, announced in 2022 out of the complete blue. No one even thought there would be Mario Kart 8 DLC. Everyone wanted Mario Kart 9. And they announced DLC for Mario Kart 8, solidifying that Mario Kart 8 will never die and Mario Kart 9 will never come out. This game has been living for 10 years. This is the GTA of Nintendo. It's kinda crazy. So, what is the Booster Course Pass? Released in 6 waves, which is why this video took so long to come out compared to the other Mario Karts. you got DLC tracks, remasters, remakes, original tracks entirely. All the things in the world for 20 bones. Honestly, a very good deal. But yeah. So, 96 tracks overall, by the way. This is absolutely absurd. This is so much content now. Like, yeah, it's still just racing compared to mission mode or something like that. But there's so much to race on here. There's no... I know I don't get bored of this game because I see a new track every time. I even forget some tracks are even in this game anymore. There was some problems with the booster course pass though. Surprisingly, it wasn't the money, which is usually Nintendo's problem. Just now, they announced Luigi's Mansion 2 HD was $60, which is the same price as Luigi's Mansion 3, which is a new game and all that, so... Nintendo's not smart with prices. This time they were, surprisingly, so good. The problem here was that Wave 1 and I would say Wave 2, a lot of the tracks looked very, very underwhelming compared to the original game. The original game, as I said, beautiful. The DLC tracks, absolutely beautiful. The Booster Course Pass DLC tracks looked absolutely bland, generic, and putrid. When you put them side by side, they looked absolutely lifeless. Like they were made for a mobile game. And now you might be thinking, a mobile Mario Kart? Wow! I wonder where the assets are coming from. Yeah, so the speculation is this was a very small team in charge of Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass, and what they did was take all the Mario Kart 8, all the Mario Kart Tour tracks that obviously got released for that game. You know, there was a Coconut Mall version for Tour, there was a Rainbow Road, there was Mario Circuit, and all that, and they took those tracks, made them prettier and HD for the Switch, and brought them over. Now, I don't mind having these tracks. Obviously, it's more content at a reasonable price. I like it. I like these tracks. I like having these tracks in Mario Kart 8, which is definitely the most active Mario Kart we have so far. I like that. Good. Problem is, I won't lie, these tracks looked very underwhelming on announcement, and they look very underwhelming in-game. The grass, the trees, the road, the detail, the references, all of it, it looks very flat early on. Wave 1 definitely did not... like, the surprise factor of having more tracks was what sold the Booster Course Pass. But they definitely did not look like they were Mario Kart 8 tracks. You could tell they were from a phone game ported to the Switch, which was very underwhelming. Sadly, I wish some of these tracks looked as good as the Mario Kart 8 base tracks looked like, but that's not, again, not a new complaint, but yeah, it's something that needs to be pointed out. They do not look impressive at all compared to tracks from 8 years prior when the Booster Course Pass started releasing. Yes, these are remakes or remasters, but honestly they're kind of like ports, that they don't have a lot of effort. So, again, Wave 1 and Wave 2, they were rough. Not the tracks themselves, the track picks, they were good. They had Coconut Mall in there, so that's always happy. That's always good to have. But visually, they were very unimpressive. They are very, very lame, and even mechanically, like they didn't take advantage of Mario Kart's mechanics, the Mario Kart 8 mechanics, as I was praising before that the original DLC tracks did, and the remake of the older tracks did. These ones kind of didn't at first. Like Coconut Mall, for example, as much as I loved the original design, there is no anti-gravity here, there's no underwater, there's nothing Mario Kart 8 about it. And I am playing Mario Kart 8, so I'm surprised that there isn't anything regarding Mario Kart 8 in there. As time went on, more tracks came out and more tracks got remade and modified for Mario Kart 8 mechanics and physics. Something like Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road got remastered, and it looks very pretty, because the base track already looks very pretty, so they HD'd it. They added some Mario Kart 8 shenanigans, and now it's a beautiful track. The remake music for all these tracks is also very good. I like some of the original arrangements more, particularly the Wii ones, but overall, the music is very good. They, again, tracks for other Nintendo IPs. There's a Yoshi's Island track, which is absolutely fantastic. It has Yoshi's coins, Yoshi's sound effects, Yoshi's Island remake track. It has all these references in the world. So definitely as the booster course pass kept moving on, like let's say wave of 4, 5, and 6 are the best ones because you can actually notice a lot of effort and change and actually remaking some of these tracks, and honestly some of them had original content, so that's also helpful. You can tell. But you can also tell this was a very small team inside the Mario Kart 8 team. They were like a port team rather than full-on development. The full team probably moved on to do something else, either in Nintendo or Mario Kart related. But now we are at the end. We finally made it. All mainline Mario Karts discussed, talked about over the years. It's kind of funny going back to the older videos because my mic quality was worse, my editing was worse, there were some mistakes in there. Now that I'm here and looking back is honestly kind of wild. I know I haven't covered every Mario Kart. I know I talked about covering Mario Kart Arcade. I was unable to get that to work on an emulator. I know it's possible though, so research will have to be done more. Mario Kart Tour is over. They announced there will be no more content from Mario Kart Tour, which, by the way, if I can discuss that a little bit at the end of this video, is I am grateful a lot of the Mario Kart Tour content was ported to 8. Eventually Mario Kart Tour will die, right? That's the fate of all mobile live service games. Mario Kart Tour will die, there will be no more servers, you won't be able to play it anymore. And a lot of that track content was ported to 8. Again, 96 tracks, Jesus Christ. So it's good to have that somewhere that won't die. Even if the Switch's online servers die, you can still buy those tracks and have them locally, you can still have them offline. So thankfully those tracks will be somewhere. So that's actually good to know. People were begging for Mario Kart Tour content 8. I was begging for it. I would have loved to have all the characters they had in Tour, have them in the Booster Course Pass, for example. And they did add some characters. They added Birdo, they added Kamek, they added Petey Piranha, Funky Kong, Diddy Kong. So they did try to do something about it. The Booster Course Pass definitely started rough. The whole appeal was, oh hey, we have more tracks. That's good enough appeal, but it definitely wasn't what Nintendo could have done. Like, they could have done so much more and they didn't. The later waves definitely feel like they had that effort, they had that commitment, and that's good. So, now that we're here at the end, my one question will be, where do we go from here? Where does Mario Kart go from here? Obviously, it won't have all the Mario Kart 8 content that has now. Like, that was over 8 years of DLC and updates and a re-release. So Mario Kart 9 won't be as big as 8, obviously. It won't be. It will just be impossible for it to be. So, what could they do now, right? Like, I feel like the formula... It's such a good formula in 8 that I don't know what they can do. Like, I feel like they need new items. That's mostly the important one. They need interesting and cool items. Very cool, good-looking, interesting track design, replayable track design. But in terms of, like, gimmicks, right? Like, this one was anti-gravity. I don't know what they could come up with. Like, I don't know what they could do anymore. So I do wonder where the future of Mario Kart goes. I don't want Smash Bros. Mario Kart. I just want Mario Kart 9. But we'll have to wait and see. And as for this channel, I'm happy the Mario Kart retrospective is over. This took years to make, like legitimately years to make. Was it as long as I wanted it to be? No, but at this point in my life, compared to the Super Mario Kart video, I don't care about length. I just want this to be done. I just want to be talking about these games. I love talking about Mario Kart. I'm not saying, oh, I want this to be done to be over. No, it's just, I wanted to finally talk about Mario Kart, and I'm not gonna stretch videos longer than they need to be. This is just more like a final message. If you're watching to this point, thank you very much. You might have noticed the Mario Kart portion ended a while ago. But it wasn't just a Mario Kart retrospective, it was also a me retrospective, and me experiencing this game, some of them for the first time, some of them not so much. Discussing my childhood, discussing my new experiences, evolving as a YouTuber. So thank you. Thank you very much for watching all these videos, thank you. Maybe I'll do a compilation of them, which was the original plan, but maybe, who knows. Maybe I'll download those videos and put them all together in a big boy. I don't know what to do. But thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much for watching all these videos. Thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for sticking around. And to Mario Kart 8, happy 10-year anniversary. You brought me so much fun. You're such a funny guy. And I'll continue to play and make videos on you. Mostly gameplay videos, I have one planned already. So thank you. Maybe Smash Bros next time, I don't know, goodbye!